Hey folks, I am Kevin Ioli, and it is my privilege right now to be joined by one of the greatest fighters I have ever seen in my life. And believe me, that's a long life. So I've seen a lot of fighters. Valentina Shevchenko, the UFC women's flyweight champion, who will defend her title in Jacksonville on April 24th. Jessica Andrade, the former strawweight champion. Valentina, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Kevin. Everything good? Just coming back from the training. Today we had very strong training and just driving back home to have some rest, to have some food, enjoy the day.
The one thing I know about you more than anything else is you're going to have good training every day, because you might be the most consistent athlete I've ever come across. Don't have a lot of, ups and downs. It seems like you're able to keep a pretty consistent workload. How do you pull that off, that you're so consistent day after day and fight after fight?
Um, um, I would say, first of all, it's like experience, what I have in martial arts, doing martial arts for 28 years. It's bring me a lot of experience. Second, the most important, it's like knowing what I want, what is number one for me, and be able to get rid from all unnecessary things, and like to focus only one thing that's really important to be successful in martial arts, to be dominated as a fighter, and just to prepare for each fight as it is my like the best fight.
Valentina, it's just human nature to kind of get, once in a while you're training, it's like we all, like, I love my job, but there's days I say I'd rather be out golfing, right? Yet you don't seem like you have that, like where you get tired of it or you get bored or whatever. I mean, do you ever have those days in training where, like, as you're driving to the gym, that you'd rather do something else?
you know During the training camp, it's very hard. It's very hard. I was asked, when is the last time you feel that you don't want to train, that you're waking up in the morning and you don't want to train? And I say that this is like a very common feeling during the training camp, because it's hard and really you are like kind of like, oh no, but then you like starting to understand and your mind take it over, because it's like saying you have to train because you're prepared for the important fight. It's normal things that's happening, but the most important, how the definition of the champion and the average fighter, how you can control your emotion. If you can turn it into the like, you have to refocus, focus, and do your best what you can do in the training, in your job, and everything. This is like define you as a fighter, define you as a person. But if you're thinking, oh, looks like my body is not ready today, looks like my mind is not ready, I better go do something else. This is your definition. This is really like say like what kind of fighter you are.
That's very interesting. Jessica Andrade is an interesting opponent for you, because not only, obviously she's got a championship pedigree and has won a lot of big fights, but she has fought in all these different weight classes, right? I mean, she's been a bantamweight, she's been on strawweight, she's fighting at flyweight right now. Rose Namajunas has said in her interviews, my Lord, how hard, Jessica can hit. So I wonder, when you look at her, is that power the biggest concern that you have, just being able to deal with the punching power that she brings?
I really don't think that she can hit harder than Amanda Nunes, right? Then she gets harder than Holly Holm, that she can wrestle better than Juliana Pena. I don't know. When she was fighting in bantamweight, yeah, she was fighting there. But when I was fighting there, I fought there with the best, with the top, with the elite. And this is not my concern about just a hit. It's not my concern about just like wrestle technique, some specific technique, only one technique. This is not only one. My concern, it's like more deeper. It's like know exactly your opponent, and how I was saying, like you have to understand what she can bring, but you cannot it's not good underestimate your opponent, but either not good overestimate your opponent.
Yeah.
So you cannot do that, because you have to know exactly what you're gonna face. And yeah, she hits strong, she wrestled good, but all my opponents, they're the best in their business. I was fighting with the best ones, and this is like why I am the champion, because I want to fight the best. And this is only one reason, one opportunity to prove that you are the best, to fight with the best ones.
I'm trying to think if you've ever had an opponent who is as short as she is, right? So this is a fight where you have a pretty significant height advantage, right? I think it's 4 inches, and you got a good size reach advantage. Does that make a difference? Like, when having a height advantage, like you do 5'5", I believe she's 5'1", does that play any role in the fight, do you think?
It's just different approach. It cannot play too much. It's just different approach for the training camp, for the specific timing, for the distance. It's something special. It's just different. In my Muay Thai career, I was fighting with different opponents, taller, shorter. In UFC, I didn't have this opportunity. I don't know why, because everyone was my height, or even way higher.
Right.
So it's just how you will manage, how you're gonna manage it. For someone fighting someone taller is bringing a lot of trouble. For another person, they just turn and see the opportunity, how they can deal with this situation. And this is, I see the same. It's all about how you will deal with it.
I wonder, you have fought all around the world. You've had so much experience, so you're going to fight your fight. But, fans are back, and that's going to get the adrenaline a little bit up, I would think, for you, right? Going back in there when you have, some fans sitting in front of you. How do you anticipate that being? Will the butterflies be at a higher level, because once again, you're going to be in a sold-out arena and the place going crazy when you make the walk?
I think it's going to be more crazy than any time it was before, because after the whole year that it was no crowd at all, and the people just gonna be very exciting to see it live and be in the event, and the first event after a while. So yeah, definitely it's gonna bring way more adrenaline. And yeah, this is gonna be, I think, great things.
I want to ask you this too. Last year when the UFC became the first sports organization to put on events after the pandemic began, they got a lot of criticism for it. But you and I both have been in the bubble that they created, and I have always felt very safe in there, and that it was really well run, and that it wasn't a significant concern. Now this event with fans there, I wonder if it's the opposite thing. There hasn't been a lot of criticism yet, but do you think as an athlete, are you concerned? Some people have said it might be a super spreader event, right? And that this could be a thing with COVID because we're not over it yet. Do you have any concerns about that, kind of the opposite end of where we were a year ago?
I know exactly that you see taking care, very high level, taking care of all athletes, of all UFC athletes. And this is, I know exactly, if they're doing something, they're taking all precautions before the fight. So they're looking up to the athletes. They are really doing great their job. And if it's time to do it, it's time. It's already literally, I feel yes, this is the time. It's over 1 year, so we have to start from something. And I think it's amazing that we are starting it. And definitely I can say that what you see doing for the sport, for the fans, for the athlete, there is no that shouldn't be any criticism, because with this hard time, we fighters had job, and we constantly could fight. You just really have to you, if you want to fight, you can fight. And this is amazing since what happened because not everyone had the same opportunities. Mostly at least they just had to sit and wait and do nothing, just like train with no performance. And I think like UFC fighters, they are very lucky to have these opportunities. That's why in my opinion, it shouldn't be any criticism toward UFC. And me personally, I feel that yes, we are at a certain time, but yes, this is exactly time when we have to start to have all audience back.
Awesome. Last thing I want to run past you, you've been the champion for a while now. You've made some defenses. Do you have any goals related to that? Like, do you sit there and say, I want to, set a record that maybe nobody can ever touch for most title defenses in my division? Do you look at the men where, George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva and Demetrius Johnson, they won and they had a lot of, John Jones, of course, as well, had a lot of consecutive defenses. Is there anything like that that motivates you as you now are so established as a champion and one of the greatest fighters of all time?
I kind of feel that when a person trying to set goals and follows his goals, it's just it's not good. It's not good for the like internal feeling what one can have, because you have this pressure and you are thinking, oh no, I have to rush in some way, or I have to that, I have to like another thing. And if something going not that way as they're planned, they are so frustrated. They're trying to do like crazy things. They are starting to act like literally like you're thinking like what they're doing. It's not that how it's supposed to be. And that's why I don't like it. I don't like set goals. I don't like I just want to be martial artist, to enjoy my life in the martial arts, to be successful, to be dominant champion, to I'm open for any opportunities that's gonna come. And like it doesn't mean that I'm stuck in one place and I'm not gonna move. I mean about like fight opportunities. I open for anything, but I just wanna like to be like as everyone expected. Everyone wants to hear, just like for example, say your best your favorite fight, say your favorite technique, just like simply things, just like cliche, just one, like without too much meaning. But for me, it's much more. Every fight, it means a lot. Every fight, it's like so much experience. That's why I don't want to be as everyone. I don't want to act as like people like acting like what they expecting. I just want to be myself and do the way what I'm doing in my life, the way I feel it.
Sure.
And this is for me the most important. I don't want to repeat. I don't want to repeat words of someone else. I want to create my own words.
That's awesome. Now, I do have a goal, though. I know you said you don't have goals. I have a goal, which is never to miss a Valentina Shevchenko fight. That is the thing I got on my plate. Never.
This is a good goal. This is so great goal.
I wish you the best. You're a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to talk to. Valentina Shevchenko fighting Jessica Andrade at April 24th in Jacksonville, Florida. You won. Once again, champ, good luck. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Have a good day. Bye-bye.